All right, guys. So real quick, we all lost a brother last week in a horrific accident out just outside of San Diego, California. Steve Kruger is his name, and we just want to give a moment of silence to our fallen brother. Thank you, guys.
I'm good. I'm ready.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of All in the Delivery, episode number 61. And guys, you know, that's something hard, really hard to start it off with. And because, we hate to be Debbie Downers and all that shit, but like this is something that's obviously really needs the attention. Because I know Luke feels very deeply about this with everything. So guys, let me introduce to you my co-host, Luke, down in West by God, Virginia. Luke, take it away, bud.
Well, I mean, I would say with just with everything, if you want me to, I could save this for the very end if you want, because I was going to go on this one for a while.
Go ahead.
But
we're here.
All right. So like David mentioned beforehand, you know, there was something that's kind of, well, and like when I say this, it's hard to kind of to put it. You got to kind of put it in the right way, because you don't want to use any accident that happens where somebody gets killed as kind of like a point of a argument or a point of something you're trying to, you know what I mean? Because people, it's at another level than that. You know, you can't. So it's hard to kind of express. It's just the thing that has bothered me with this is what the cardboard community has been awesome. Getting 100%. On IG, podcasting, meeting people, interacting with people, fucking awesome. And it just but one thing that I have noticed that I never would have noticed otherwise, and I've actually discussed this with other people before, like just kind of never, you know, on a public thing like this or like in a post, but just like there are way more people that you see that get killed, either if it's an auto accident or, you know, something else. But like it's odd to me, because stuff doesn't really, like, I get the one thing with auto stuff when they say, you know, especially in the beginning, like maybe because there's an investigation going on, that I understand there's steps to be taken and shit. Like there's stuff like that, but one, you hear that in the beginning, and normally nothing ever, you know, I feel like it never gets mentioned, because we've had stuff where, not in our building personally, but stuff that's happened kind of nearby, and you kind of hear, but you never hear what happens or, you know, who it was. It just kind of, you know, it just gets sort of kind of, you know, put in the drift away, whatever you want to say with it. But I like when stuff makes the national news, like this, what just happened. I feel like you don't, there's like, as far as the investigation stuff, like what the fuck is there to investigate? You know what I mean? That shit is, it's basically, it's fucking beyond tragic. Like you said, the accident that happened, however the plane whether it was mechanical, the pilot, that's irrelevant. You know what I mean? People still lost their lives, but it's kind of like that. It's on the news. You know what I mean? It's on fucking mainstream news. But you don't like shit doesn't get brought up. And then I've heard stuff that kind of stuff in a shitty way gets kind of brought up. But I don't want to I'm not mentioning names or centers or anything, but I've heard some responses that was like, it made me go, holy fucking shit. That really was fucking said. Damn. Yeah. But it just, I feel like there's so many things. Like I'll say this. So everybody knows Frank Ordonez with what happened with Frank Ordonez. And that obviously was also, I mean, stuff that was covered nationally. Everybody saw that. And everybody that was a driver anybody that saw that on, like, saw the video or saw it on the news, everybody that was in our business saw themselves in that spot because it kind of hit home because it's what we do. You know what I mean? And it's like, so that'll be 2 years in December. I think it was the beginning of December when that happened, December of 2019. And, but like just shit like, and I know I can say this on here, and this is something I've thought of, like, but never really have said. So that's partly my fault, but I shouldn't be the one to have to say something like what with him, with what happened to Frank is beyond, like I said, I'm not trying to say these things. This is a point I'm saying. Like everybody knows, like you want to talk about a way, like the family's never going to get over that. They'll never fully get over that the day of, you know, it's like to relive. So I've thought like maybe that's why they wouldn't do something, but they're going to like I was having an idea that like they should have organized something to even that they wouldn't even have to pay. They could do it to the drivers to be like, it's right around peak. Be like, this is the anniversary of, if you want to donate something you could put that towards and it would go to Frank's family. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you, you know, some people, and it would be, you know, obviously discreet. Some people wouldn't do it at all. And it could be up to everybody, but I guarantee you, plenty of drivers all over the country would fucking give to that.
Absolutely.
And there's a bunch of us and shit. Like, I just feel like stuff like shit like that should be, but it just doesn't, I don't like that. I was using like deflect or down. Like, it's just like, they don't
swept under the rug.
Swept under the rug. Exactly. It's fucked up, but it's like, you don't fucking, like, you're not allowed to mention it in some center. And I'm not saying this is fucking whole, you know, this doesn't happen. There was places that did. And I'm sure locally out, you know, in San Diego, I'm sure they obviously all, you know, at 12, but you know, that should be, if it's on national fucking news, we're in a day and age where you can send an email out and it goes out to everybody. You know what I mean? Or send it out to get it. You know, it doesn't even get mentioned, you know, shit like that. But I don't know, man. It just always, it's never sat right with me. And until I got on here and discovered all the awesome people that I have and seeing shit from centers where people have died, and I'm like, damn, you know, and I always be like, wonder what the fuck happened. You never would have known if you wouldn't have like followed, you know what I mean? Like, never would have fucking known. And I could keep going on and on of how stuff should be, you know, how people could be, you know, with as far as what the company should do in those situations. But ultimately, that's not up to me. And I could go on for that till fucking tomorrow morning if I wanted to. So I just want to, like we've always said with this podcast, we would use it for the people, we'd use it as a voice for stuff that doesn't get talked about. And that's something that, and like, you know, we've always tried to keep stuff comical and light. And we've obviously had serious, you know, with guests as well. We've had, you know, there's been serious conversations and times and episodes, and this is just something that I just feel like it needs to get at least. I just don't understand why it doesn't get fucking brought up. Like it's just like literally, like you said, swept under the rug, and it's like nothing. It's like it's weird to fucking say. It's like you don't want to like be like, oh well, we don't want you to feel bad because you got it good. You know what I mean? It's fucking weird, dude. I don't know. Like, whew. I'm holding a little bit, and I'm trying. I'm fucking trying. So I told you I would keep it. I would keep it cordial. So I may fucking anyways myself. But yeah, it just sit heavy with me. I wear my emotions on my sleeve and shit. Like I get pissed off about stuff that doesn't sit fucking well, and it doesn't sit right. It doesn't sit right with me, and I don't know if there's some protocol. And I kind of like I went on. I wouldn't even say a mini rant. It wasn't even that. I just I posted an Insta story. It wasn't a video. It was just like a writing post. Said a few things, and we've already got enough of a fucking divide in this country, especially. So when I say there are managers. Management is also human beings, and there's a lot of good managers at the ground level where we're at, like as drivers. I know they're around. There's people like, but when I say they, I'm sort of saying like it comes from the top. So it's not their fault, but I don't know. It's just, it makes me wonder if there's like a fucking like unwritten rule or even a fucking rule about it. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I've never looked into that, but yeah, I just feel like it should be if somebody loses their life, especially while they're working, no matter if it is,
and especially in the job, like,
yeah,
that's where it is. Like you said, the whole thing with Frank Ordonez is like, every driver that saw that video when they went to work the next day and they saw their truck, like they put themselves in that place of, thought.
Yeah,
where it's like, holy fuck.
Everybody, everybody
and
did.
Absolutely. And it's like, when it comes to what happened with like what just passed, it's like it hits close to home, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because we do that job and we saw that truck that was just that his truck was fucking obliterated. Like it was
it was. There was the whole fucking the whole front of it was fucking gone, basically. I mean, it was like it was bad. And I know like that's the weird. That's the thing when I was talking about like I didn't want to say these as situations because people died, but like for that, like I know that's still like that happening is basically the same as people saying get struck by lightning is still crazy. You know what I mean? But it happened. It's still like it didn't, that. And I feel like that's another thing. Like, I want to be on the side of making sure they get remembered and not being like, just because it just fucking, it doesn't sit right, man.
Right. And
that dude was a 30-year driver.
Right.
Dude, 30-year fucking driver.
30-year driver. I'm sure he has a family. I'm sure he has kids, a wife. And first of all, I got to say too, for any of those motherfuckers that are making jokes about that, fuck you and shut your goddamn mouth. Because there's no reason to be fucking making those jokes. All right, we've all seen them. And this is somebody who whose kids are going to grow up fatherless now. It's like, no, shut your mouth if you're going to fucking make a joke. Like, seriously.
I mean, I back it up. He ain't wrong. Just don't
Right.
do it. Yeah, it's fucked. I mean, literally, it just happened too. So, like, that's what you're gonna fucking say. Wow.
Right.
Yeah, don't. But I'm gonna just to end it. Well said, Dave. Because you're right. Like, it's fucking when this is gonna come out, it's gonna be a little bit. But as we record this, like, this is like the next day
Right.
happened. So
And
yeah, it just fucking happened. So,
also
yeah, that's
shout out to everybody who took that time of their day, who set an alarm for whatever time zone you're in. For us over here on the East Coast, it would have been 3:14.
yeah, 12:14 Pacific.
Right, 12:14 Pacific time. Thank you guys for whoever did that. We've seen the pictures going around social media of you guys taking that moment of silence for him, and thank you guys for that.
Yeah, it's awesome that everybody that participated. Thank you.
Right, dude, that's how awesome this community is.
Yeah, man.
You know, and I know it's like, I know some people who aren't in it would say like, oh, you know, you guys are the Teamsters, you guys got that camaraderie, you know, that camaraderie, and you know, it's a brotherhood, you know, like there's those people that say that
Yeah.
stuff, but it's like I don't see that when it comes to the cardboard community. Like, I don't think it has anything to do with being in the union. You know, I really do not think it has anything to do with that. You know, I think it's literally more of a fucking family and knowing that we all do the same job.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that because there's people that have different views of the union.
Mm-hmm.
Some more, you know, some are more diehard, some are less diehard.
Right.
But yeah,
and
dude.
Hey, since we're on that real quick, I don't care who you're voting for. If you're voting for the power slate, if you're voting for, you know, fucking brain fart, holy shit, what's the other one?
Well, I don't know. It depends on. I think it's on regions too, but just make sure you vote.
Exactly. That's what it comes down to, guys. You know, make sure you send that ballot in, and make sure you vote. Like I said, I don't care who you vote for. Just make sure you vote. It's important because last time was just, it was too fucking close. It seems like.
Yeah.
So
every
vote counts here. So.
But yeah, anyways. Just to end with, but to say like what I said with Frank Ordonez, to the thing that the annual thing, same thing you could say with Steve Kruger and these other drivers. Like, but my point is like we have a cardboard community, but they're also obviously, you know, global.
Right.
Like the reach that they could do by, you know, in one fucking day to reach out to like would take us. Fuck, dude. You know what I mean? Like that's I want to make sure I added that in there because that's always been something that, like I said, I obviously told you how I feel about it, so I'm not going to repeat myself with that. But they have the ability to really could really do a lot of good with it. And yeah, I mean, it's if they died on, like I said, on the job, it's obviously a shitty, like you said, anniversary is not really, it's always a celebrated. You wouldn't really want to say anniversary. You could say in remembrance or what, I mean, but just have something and just be like, you know, do it for, you know, however long. I don't know. It just fucking idea, man. They just, like I said, I'm going to hold back because we'd be here we'd be here till fucking start time tomorrow. So,
and it's the OZ slate. Duh. The power slate and the OZ slate, going back to that. So, like I said, or like we said, go vote. Go put those ballots in, guys. And if you haven't gotten one, go see your shop steward and get that address corrected and shit and make sure they send you one. So, anyways. So, definitely, guys, like we said, you know, thank you guys for everybody who took that minute took that moment of silence to step, just to stop what you're doing and all that. And we send our prayers and thoughts, condolences to the family, loved ones, the hub over there that Steve was out of.
Yeah, absolutely. We're thinking of you all, and I said this is a shitty time. May you find peace and comfort through it. But yeah,
absolutely,
we're with you.
Absolutely. All right. It's kind of hard to transition out of that, but here we go. We are going to do our best. We are going to do our best.
I put another. I figured because I knew I would be a little amped after that one, and I've had another rant in here, but a humorous one because it was something. It was like a meme I saw, and I literally had to watch Titanic again. And I mean, I've seen Titanic.
Wait, what, I don't know. Literally just watched it recently.
Oh yeah, like
all most 4 hours of it.
Well, not all 4 hours, but a good bit of it. I was literally.
The last two is like the best part when the ship's sinking.
Yeah, I mean
that's terrible to say.
But well, it is. It
the
is.
Movie was pretty.
The movie
pretty damn good.
We're looking at it as the movie. Most the people. If
and
anything,
that's when Jack, is painting.
So that's what I like. That was the shit because I feel like anytime I watch it, like you said, you always just remember when they hit the iceberg and stuff. But I saw a rant about Rose being the shittiest. Not in her acting, not in Rose McGowan shit. She's born in 1976. I know her birth year, but I can't think of her fucking name offhand. Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet. Yes, that's right. So it was the thing. Yeah, it wasn't knocking Kate Winslet's acting. It was just the character itself. And saying like how Rose was the biggest asshole all time, so I started looking at it because and Bill Paxton, I fucking almost forgot Bill Paxton's in the movie, and I RIP to Bill Paxton. I fucking love that guy. But so they say in the meme is they're like, so I'm basically gonna go through it here. So she gets on it. Bill Paxton has this fucking this company to find this fucking diamond. Rose has, not only does she fucking have the diamond the whole time, she tells the story of Jack, who we all know, Leo, who she had about a 2-night fling with, 3-night fling. Now, of course, they might have loved an eternity's worth, whatever, but this gets fucking better. So she obviously fucking lies, tells poor Bill Paxton, who's been dedicated his entire life to finding this fucking diamond, that she doesn't have it. And then she obviously gets up, tosses the diamond into the fucking ocean. And then she dies on the boat. Not only she can't even tell him like, oh, I had to throw it to the bottom of the ocean so they could at least have a puncher's chance. She dies on the boat. She goes to heaven. I'm assuming it's heaven. She goes to Jack, who she had the 2-night fling with. Now remember, Rose was 100 years old. Rose was as old as my grandmother. So she was old. And her poor fucking husband is just floating around in eternity, who she had kids with, grandkids. He raised her kids, had a family. And she dies and she goes to Jack in the afterlife. And this poor bastard, he was there the whole time and committed. It just is fucking floating around. I was dying, dude. I was fucking dying. I was like, holy shit. She really is the worst fucking character of all time. I was like, she's worse than Thanos. Nah, man. I was fucking, it was going step by step. I was like, yeah, she really is. She fucking had the 2-night fling with Jack and then a lifetime of raising the family. Grandkids with whoever the fuck her fucking husband was. Their granddaughter is the only one that you see. So yeah, That was my little. I had to just talk about that meme because I thought it was fucking hilarious. But yeah, like 2 days ago, I watched it because I saw it over the weekend, so I wanted to refresh myself because I kind of thought I was like, oh, I'm going to bring this up because this is kind of funny because everybody knows, everybody's
Yeah.
watched Titanic.
No. But has everybody watched Squid Game?
I'm 3 episodes deep as we record this. Probably by the time it gets released, I'll have some more in.
Oh yeah.
Boy, I like it.
Shit is intense.
The Mrs. Nomad does not
Intense.
though. I like.
Is it too brutal for her?
No, she doesn't. The brutalness doesn't bother her. I think it's more of like the tension. Like if I bet on a game, dude. Like if I bet on a game, and it doesn't matter what I would bet, dude. If I even say if I would bet $55 on a game, I could be at a slot machine or something and lose that. She'd be fine. But dude, like a game where it goes down to the wire, she gets all tense. So yeah, dude, that opening episode of Squid Game, I'm not going to give any spoilers.
Yeah.
But you obviously saw it, so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, She was like, holy shit. She'll probably watch it. She'll probably watch it with me because she's a good sport, but she's not into it like I am. But she'll probably still watch it. Yeah, it's not the brutality. She don't give a fuck about that.
It's the anxiety of it just fucking it's like it's like what's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah.
But they literally keep you on the edge of your seat. And then sometimes it's out of nowhere. Like they'll be watching like one guy, he'll be doing something, and all of a sudden, bam, fucking done, bro. What an fucking it's so good. Like Danielle and I are like, let's watch it again. Like we're getting ready to watch it again.
Have you watched it? I've heard people have watched it again with the subtitles because it says different shit in the Korean subtitle, like in the subtitles than they do. Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think she may have mentioned something about subtitles.
Yeah, because
actually, now that I think about it,
because I rewatch shit too. I rewatched it all the time, so I would fucking probably I'll eventually rewatch it, and I'll probably do it in subtitles.
There you go.
I'm not doing it now because I like to see people's faces and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you read, like you can do it fast.
You see the I mean, especially that show. The facial expressions that you see when they're in that moment of time and they're in that place and it's I mean,
yeah, dude,
what a fucking bunch of great actors and actresses, dude. Like unreal. Just can you imagine putting yourself in that emotional state?
Dude, I'll go ahead and give you one that I thought was and this isn't really a spoiler, but this is good acting. You'll probably know where I'm talking about because, like I said, I'm only 3 episodes in. But when that woman finds out from the cops that her son is wanted for all these crimes and she thinks her son's the hot shit that is traveling, dude, her facial expression, dude, she's just a good fucking actor. I was like, damn, man. I was like, you could literally see. I was like, that'd be like me, telling my grandma something and just watching her, but damn, dude, I really believed her. I was like, holy shit, dude, it looked like her fucking world just ended.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You're right.
So good. Such a good show. If you guys have not checked it out yet, go check out Squid Game on Netflix.
Yes, but it is.
The other one we've been watching recently is Ted Lasso, which is on Apple Plus.
I need to get into that. My aunt watches that.
Oh really?
Yeah, she was telling me when she was in.
Jason Sudeikis is absolutely incredible in that show. Absolutely incredible.
I mean, I'm a huge Jason Sudeikis fan. I told you, We're the Millers is probably one of my favorite comedy movies. I mean, I'm not going to say it's like a top fucking 3 or something, but I fucking think that movie, I think he's hilarious in that. And that's when I became a big fan. I know I've mentioned that before, but man, yeah, he's a good actor. So I know that's why I don't know why I have Apple Plus. I like Jason Sudeikis. I just need to watch it. Yeah,
absolutely. But hey, speaking of We're the Millers, you know who else is in We're the Millers?
I know where you're going. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. And we got something to talk about. This shit's so fucking funny to me.
Just how Jake
So
Gyllenhaal's such a good actor, man.
Jake Gyllenhaal recently, he's been in the news on social media recently, and talking about the movie that he did with Jennifer Aniston. I think it was back in 2004. I think was the date.
Yeah, it was back in
And
the early 2000s.
so he was young. Aniston was younger as well. So there's a sex scene that they filmed together, and he said he had to put a pillow between them because he was just absolutely rock hard.
So you know my fucking steel trap memory for birthdays. So I'm just gonna say we'll just say this was 2004. All right.
Okay.
So Jake Gyllenhaal was like probably 20, we'll say 24, 23. I think he's born in 1980. So yeah, he was early 20s. Jennifer Aniston would have been like 35.
Yeah.
She was born in 1969, so she's like 52 now. So yeah, at that point she'd been 35. 2004, she'd be 35. So that's a 35-year-old Jennifer Aniston who fucking
smoking hot.
52-year-old Jennifer Aniston still like seems like she's just as fucking hot as the 35-year-old version. But we'll just say for that was a younger Jennifer Aniston. Yeah, Jake fucking Gyllenhaal's in his early 20s.
Here's a young buck.
And he's getting a boner fucking from the scene where Jennifer Aniston wants to fuck him.
Absolutely, just straddling him.
Who would have thought? I mean,
but he was so. Oh my god! Excuse me. He was so embarrassed. He was so embarrassed. He had to put a pillow between them. And then rumors come out later that he was telling everybody that he actually had a crush on Jennifer Aniston at that time, but didn't tell her as they were filming. So it was bound to happen.
It was just more and more fucking. She obviously fucking was not interested. She made him. She had but from what I understand though, she requested the pillow, right? Because he kept getting a boner, or was that like a thing? Like,
yeah.
So she was like getting mad that he was getting hard. So that's what's weird, man. Like that's when you know so you're
funny.
Like that's her being a professional there, because I'll tell you right now, women are people pleasers, and if you don't want, when would a woman ever be like, oh, you should keep your dick limp when I'm straddling? Of course, it's a scene. I know it's fucking all. It's only a movie scene, but damn, how can she be upset that he's got? I mean, maybe she wasn't upset. Maybe it was just, man, I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I don't know how the fuck all that works. So I don't. I'm talking about shit I have no idea what goes into it. So maybe but yeah, that's what I mean. But that has to be fucking common. That has to be common.
I know, right?
You're fucking acting like you're trying to bang each other. Jennifer Aniston's obviously Jennifer fucking Aniston, dude. How the fuck is he not going to get how's he not going to get a boner from that?
I don't know.
I mean, even with everybody around there and being all fucking weird, he was in his early 20s, man. It wouldn't matter. It probably wouldn't matter now. Oh man. Fucking Hollywood. Weird shit. Weird stuff.
I mean, I must say something about Jake Gyllenhaal, right? He must be. The dude must have a fucking wrench on him.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe she obviously wasn't impressed by that either. If so she doesn't give a fuck about that. I don't fucking know. He's a fuck. I just know that he was fucking anything. Jake Gyllenhaal was Bubble Boy to me, and he was, I forget, Homer Hickam. It was October Sky. He was in this movie October Sky, and it's based in West Virginia. So obviously, anytime West Virginia gets a movie made about him, just people go nuts. So I was in I was in junior high when this movie came out. Jake Gyllenhaal starred in it, dude. Oh, we had a field trip to go to the movie theater to watch fucking.
Sure.
Yeah, we had to. That was the first Jake Gyllenhaal. That was the first time I saw him in anything, because that was like 97.
Mm.
He's been around for a while, but man, yeah, dude's getting fucking had to put pillow on his dick for Jennifer Aniston. And he got
Classic.
paid for that. He got paid to do that.
Why not?
I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, he got God, man. What the fuck? What a world.
Awesome.
What a fucking world. I know,
Fucking
right?
awesome. But anyways, Luke, how's your week? How's your week been?
Well, oh shit, we did all that backwards, didn't we?
We just a little bit. So here we go.
We did. Oh, dude. Well, so my week. So it's fresh in the week, but I can tell you a good one. So yesterday, I had a rogue 4 stops in this section that I sometimes will have, but when I have it, I normally have a chunk of it. You know what I mean? It's not like I have 4 fucking stops because it's kind of out of my way, like completely out of my way. I'm never even when I'm like at the closest section to it, it's still like 5 miles out of my way, and it's 5 miles through kind of, I mean, Fairmont's not a big fucking area, but it's still a lot of stoplights and you got traffic and shit. So, you know,
Sure.
it's like for 5 miles, it's not like I'm hopping on the highway. You know what I mean? It takes me a minute to get there. So I had delivered all my stops that I had. And I had those 4 rogue fucking stops. As soon as I plug in the old cradle, so 9.5 cutoff is 6:50 on Monday. It is for me. I don't know. Whoever's listening, it could be different for you. But my cutoff was 6:50. It was like 25 till 7. So it was like 6:35 on the dot. Dude, I plug in the cradle for those 4 stops. It comes up and it says ETA 6:51. And I was like, and I'm right by the building. I'm not far. I could have left from there, and if I didn't have those stops, I would have made 9.5 easily.
Yeah,
because I'm only like 5 minutes away. I could have fucking punched out. I could have been fine. But so I end up saying like, well, you got a little greedy with these 4 stops over here, so I'm going to be over 9.5. that didn't get received great, but that was kind of how it started, and it wasn't bad. It just like part of it. Sometimes I'm not a fan. I wish it could kind of go back to the way it was, but the way it wasn't really great either. I would be in a way. I'd probably have 30 more stops the way it was, even being. I don't know. It's been, but today wasn't bad. We'll see how the rest of the week goes.
There you go.
How about yourself?
I started my week off great. I got yelled at by the trailer park police. And, yeah, you know,
Trailer Park Police. How'd that go? Like, Randy, did you watch Trailer Park Boys? Oh, you've had to have watched fucking Trailer Park Boys, dude. You're fucking okay. So you know Leahy and Randy. So you had Leahy and Randy fucking coming up to you.
Yeah, literally just 2 people that just live there. You know what I mean? That's what it was. It was literally this guy. Listen, I'll paint the scene right now for everybody. So this is what happens, okay? So this trailer park that I delivered to, it's a U-shaped trailer park. It's a one-way in, go around, one-way out, okay? One way in, one way out. So I had one for what number? Number fucking 2, right at the goddamn beginning. And this trailer park, there's a real sharp turn like just before the trailer park. So I didn't want to leave the truck on the road because the road that it's on is already pretty tight enough as it is. You know, there's no lines. It's literally just, you know, a pretty tight road. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to get my truck off the road. And right in front of number 2 is this parking lot. All right. So I park in the parking lot. I'm about, no bullshit, probably about 5 yards from the road. Okay. So I pulled right off the road into this parking lot right in front of number 2. All right.
Okay.
And I delivered number 2. And then there's this truck that pulls up right in front of all the mailboxes out in front of this trailer park. And it's sitting there. And I noticed these two people, must have been husband, wife, lovers. I don't know. Brother, sister, lover. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Brother, sister. But
Fuck. What you got? What's going on up there?
You know,
boy.
fucking. Anyways,
fucking. That's fucking going on. Apparently, Jesus.
And they're staring at me. They're staring at me. I get back in the truck. I see them, and they're staring at me, like they're just waiting for me to go back out that one-way entrance. Like they're fucking waiting for me. They're like, this guy better not go back out this one-way entrance. Like, let me remind you, I'm 5 yards from the fucking road.
So
5 yards. Like just almost as long as the truck is, probably, you know? And I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to do it. And they see me start to turn. Whoa, fucking lays on the horn. They're waving their arms out the window at me and shit. Like, you gotta go that way. This is a one way. Meanwhile, I'm already facing the road. Like, I'm already ready to fucking hightail it out of there. I've already made my decision. And I'm fucking pulling out. I'm not going all the way around the goddamn trailer park.
Yeah, dude, you're in 1,000, man. You're committed. You're committed. You're fucking committed, man.
Yeah. So like I'm in it, and they're like yelling. They're like, you can't go that way. It's a one way. And I got my doors open. Their windows are down. I'm staring at them. They're staring at me. And I'm just, what do? You fucking play dumb. Oh, okay. I'll remember next time. Yeah. Whoa, fucking drove off. Like, dude.
I mean,
5 yards. 5 yards.
Well, just they got nothing.
I was so fucking close to the goddamn road. I could have spit on it.
They think too, because you're on the clock, that you're just going to be like, oh God, sorry, sorry, Jim Leahy. I'm going to fucking, rest in peace to the real Jim Leahy. I wish he was still around, but yeah, just fucking, I'm just saying these fucking, but like, oh my God. Well, hold on. Dude. I'll turn this around, sir, with your fucking minimal authority. Fuck you. Yeah.
Dude,
sorry.
I can't even begin to tell you like how shocked I was. And I mean, like, that's not the first time I got yelled at in this trailer park either. Did I tell, here we go again, because I've probably fucking told the story before. Did I tell a story about the woman who yelled at me because she thought I was going too fast?
In the trailer park? Not that I can recall.
Oh.
But you got to remember, man, there can be some wild cards. You got to watch
I know. But, there's definitely some wild cards in this fucking trailer park. And so the speed limit's like 10, okay? And, it's a straightaway. I see both sides. I'm not like cruising. I'm not going like 30. You know what I mean? But like, I'm going like 15. Okay. And there's some bumps. And this was towards the end of my day. So the truck was pretty empty. And we know how loud these fucking trucks could be when you hit a goddamn bump and it's empty. The whole thing rattles. You know?
Yeah.
And sure as shit, I'm going. I hit a bump, fuck, swinging back and forth and shit. And this woman's on her porch. Slow down! I saw you going too fast around the turn all the way back there. You need to slow down. We got pets, we got cats, we got dogs, we got kids. I'm like, lady, I'm not going that fast. You need to slow down. Oh my God.
Dude.
Needless to say. Oh, that actually happened to me twice. Same lady. Hold on a second. That was the first time.
So she just sits and waits.
Fucking right, bro. And I'm not, but it was not the same lady that yelled at me about the one way. So this is a different one. So the second time, this lady who yelled at me about going too fast, okay, says the same thing to me again. This was about a year apart. Says the same thing to me again. She's like, you really need to, but she wasn't as angry this time. So she was a little bit calmer. She's like, you really need to slow down back there. Nobody likes it around here when everybody goes too fast. And I'm thinking in my head, wait a second. I think you're the only one that has an issue with this. Yeah, right, exactly. I was like, I think you're the only one that worries about this, actually, because nobody else has said anything to me before. And it's not like I said, I'm not going fast. I'm obviously being safe. You know what I mean? And like, fuck, dude. People.
Dude, man. now I got a funny. Oh, it's an older lady story. It's an older couple, but I've never told this before because I've always been ashamed. It was one of my accidents because I technically have a rollaway on my record, and I've never liked it because. Yeah, I've always hated it because it wasn't really what when you hear the sound like you're like you see it like wow, like I know. But so basically what had happened was I've always tried to do it again. And I was in a big old clunker fucking 1000. This was old truck and it was an automatic. I think I don't remember standards were done yet at that point, but we may have had one or two left. But anyways, I pulled the e-brake and pulled up. I only had like fucking like 6 stops left. It was dark, rainy. It was fucking peak season, dude. It was on a fucking Friday, and I went backward. So I pulled up somehow. I don't know how the fuck I did it. The e-brake was pulled, but the park brake, like it was like in between park and reverse. It was basically on flat ground, like the slightest fucking incline. So it's like raining. It's not pouring the rain down, but it's raining, and it's dark out, obviously, because it's Christmas time. So as I deliver, I pull back and I see shit, and I like look, and I'm like, oh my god. So I see it starting to go backwards. So I end up catching it.
No shit.
And well, yeah, because it wasn't going
fast. Yeah.
No, yeah, dude. It wasn't like I'm rolling like fucking, I'm trying like the Flash up there, dude. But what was fun, a side story, I couldn't find my diet because when I went in motion to run, I had it in my hand and I mean, it flew out of the back of my fucking hand because I was gone. So I ended up getting to it, but like, I almost didn't. It was going fast enough by the time I got up there. Like I had to move a second because it was just flat ground. But like when if the car is off and you step on the brake, it doesn't go right down.
Not doing anything. Yeah.
So like I literally did that and was like trying to start and it barely like I basically stopped it while it was on the road, but it was a big ass truck, so it clipped like 2 fucking things of this fence. It barely did any damage. Like barely. Like it could have been bad. Had it got away from me, it was fucking rolling somewhere. But man, so anyway, I had to, call it in and all that good stuff. Yeah. So I won't spare you the details on that. That's always stuff you don't want to ever talk about, but that's been years ago. That's years ago. So I'm fucking over it. But this has been a few less years ago. I deliver to that place and the woman comes out and they were an older couple. Like I don't think their kids didn't live with them. They had grandkids.
Hold on. You delivered to the house where it clipped the fence?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and this is what'll make you laugh because I go up and she was like, you look familiar. Or she was like, oh, you look familiar to me. Listen, I haven't said anything, dude. So I'm looking. She was like, you look familiar to me. She was like, was it you that went through? You use that soundbite too soon because when I tell you this is when you're really going to laugh. Okay. She was like, she said, was that you that clipped that? And they weren't mad. They were nice about it. They were cool. So she wasn't like upset. She was just asking, she was like, was that you that clipped my fence? And I was like, oh no, that wasn't me. And she was like, oh yeah, it was. I recognize your voice. Fuck. Yeah, dude. That's what I literally said that soundbite.
You tried getting away with it.
No, she was like, no. She was like, this is what I did. She was like, I recognize your voice. I was like, oh no, that wasn't me. Just tried to high pitch my voice. No, yeah, she knew. As soon as I spoke, she's like, oh yeah, that was you. Oh shit.
Oh, that's good.
That's yeah, I knew I never told that because I've always been ashamed of that rollaway, but sometimes shit happens. It wasn't that bad.
Shit happens.
When you say rollaway, God, it just sounds god awful. You're like, you just think of a truck flying down a hillside about to take something out.
Seriously.
Yeah, like if that fence wouldn't have been there, I would have been it wouldn't even have fucking done anything. It was just right by the road. It was just bad location. Because I mean, it was because it was like weird. Because if it would have been a little more of an incline, I would have known. Because I could have stopped it. Because I was in the truck for a minute. Because my fucking cargo light didn't work. Surprise, surprise. But
oh, yeah, my goodness, that's good. That's good. So, yeah, man. I mean, do you have anything else?
The only thing I want to say, because we started this episode different off, obviously, to all the Patreon subscribers, you guys, we always, as always, we love you all and we thank you all. And I know most of, I think most of them, I mean, I think most of the people I saw today, you know, a lot of people shared stuff and posted and kept stuff. That's what I said. But the beginning and the positive thing, kind of to what I was saying at the beginning before I started going with it, is the positive thing with the people, especially in you know, cardboard community that we've interacted with and that interact with each other. Everybody, it's always, people have always been, they've always shared stuff. They've always, you know, everybody's always like everybody just, it's like, just shows that they care, and it's awesome. You know, that part of it, and the grim situation, as bad as like this shit is with this, like as tragic and as bad as what happened, especially just last week, it always shows, you know, it just shows the unity, and it's just that's, I guess, to say a silver lining in a terrible situation. But yeah, to the Patreon subscribers, love you guys, and
yes, definitely.
That's all I got, man.
Nah, and I was actually just about to get to that. So,
sorry.
Huge shout out to Tony, Sam V, Andrew, Fernando, Nate, Clement, Jerica, Tad, Sam C, Luke C, Ryan, Will, and Ashley P.
Amazing.
You guys.
See how quick he did that.
Amazing.
And he said all your names. I'm just sitting there just saying thank you, and it takes me 3 minutes.
Oh, so good. So good. Also, guys, you guys obviously know where to find us, unless you're a first-time listener. Then guess what? You go to deliveringgreatness.com. You can go check out all the goods that we have over there. Also, patreon.com/AITDpod if you're interested in becoming a Patreon member. Also, huge shout out to everybody who helped donated on the live for episode 60. That money was all donated to the Lupus Foundation of America. And thank you guys so much for everybody who donated there.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the street team. I think that's it.
I think we're good. Yep.
Guys, continue delivering greatness. Don't forget your most important stop. And everybody, please be safe out there.